Beneath the quiet fields of Zhejiang, a pond shimmered through the seasons, refusing to dry. In 1992, villagers drained it. The water sank away, revealing not mud but a staircase cut into stone, leading down into darkness. Lanterns lit the way into a chamber so vast that the light dissolved before reaching its far wall. Smooth pillars rose from the floor, the ceiling 30 meters above their heads, every surface marked by endless parallel grooves, carved with impossible precision. Further draining revealed more. 24 caverns spread beneath the village, covering 30,000 square meters. Each was symmetrical, walls and ceilings flat and straight as if measured by modern tools. No scripture, no carvings, no trace of who made them. Just silence and stone. The caves were hewn from solid sandstone, hard, unyielding, resistant to time. To shape a single chamber meant removing thousands of cubic meters of rock. In total, nearly 1 million cubic meters must have been cut away. Yet no debris lies near the site, no spoil heaps, no evidence of the workforce such a feat would demand. The grooves are the cave's signature, lines carved millimeter by millimeter, flowing in unbroken patterns across every wall and ceiling. They may be decoration or a structural technique to relieve pressure, but their sheer uniformity suggests an intention we can no longer read. Dating offers little certainty. Carbon tests fail on bare stone. Only a few Han Dynasty potsherds were recovered from fill, too uncertain to anchor the site. Some believe the caves are 2,000 years old. Others suspect far earlier. None can prove it. Their purpose remains darker still. No altars, no burials, no shrines, no smoke stains, no traces of living quarters, no wells or drains. The chambers are not tombs, not temples, not homes. Raised platforms appear in some, niches in others, but nothing to reveal intent. The silence is uncharacteristic. Chinese builders of antiquity left records of almost everything. Who commissioned a work, which artisans built it, what year it began. Even small tombs carry inscriptions. Yet these caverns, so vast, are nameless. Studies show they were not accidents. Load-bearing pillars were placed exactly where they must stand. Some ceilings arch, others stretch flat across impossible spans. The stone's natural layers were respected to prevent collapse. Whoever built them understood geology and structure on a level far beyond survival. Explanations falter. Some claim they were quarries later smoothed into halls. But no quarrier chisels ornamental grooves across every inch of rock. Others suggest a grand imperial project, abandoned without record, erased by time. The human labor would have numbered in thousands. Where were they housed? What fed them? No trace of encampments or tools remains. Legends persist in the villages above. Tales of immortals carving caves overnight. Stories of bottomless ponds leading to hidden worlds. Echoes of memory twisted into myth. The Longyou Caves endure without answer. Beneath their stone roofs, the grooves stretch on, repeating across chamber after chamber. They speak without words, a message carved in silence. Whoever made them vanished, leaving only the geometry of labor and the weight of absence. Stones of the Titans. High on the plateau of the Beka Valley, columns of ruined temples rise into the sky. Between them lie fallen stones, carvings worn by centuries of wind. Yet beneath this Roman majesty, hidden in the foundation, rest blocks of such size that they seem beyond human strength. They are known as the Trilithon, 3 stones, each 19 meters long, 4 meters high, 3 meters deep. Each weighs close to 1,000 tons. They sit side by side, fitted so perfectly that no blade slips between them. Above rest smaller, though still enormous, stones forming the base of the Temple of Jupiter. In the quarry nearby, even larger blocks remain unfinished. 1. The Stone of the Pregnant Woman stretches more than 20 meters and weighs over 1,000 tons. Beneath it lies another, greater still, over 1,600 tons, the heaviest stone ever carved by human hands. They were cut, but never moved. How these megaliths were transported is unknown. Roman cranes could lift perhaps 50 tons. Even today, modern cranes strain at a fraction of the Trilithon's weight. To drag them uphill from the quarry requires engineering beyond anything described in Roman manuals. No text, no inscription, no ancient record mentions the method. Their surfaces are sharp, their angles clean. Each was cut from local limestone with precision. But cutting was not the challenge. Movement was. Some believe they were hauled on sledges over lubricated tracks. Others that ramps of earth carried them in a slow crawl to the platform. None of these explanations has ever been proven. The Romans built grandly, but they also built on older foundations. Baalbek was sacred ground long before them. Some archaeologists believe the Trilithon may predate Roman construction altogether. If so, its builders remain unknown. Legends rose around the stones. Medieval writers claimed giants had built them in the age of Solomon. Folklore spoke of spirits lifting them into place. In later centuries, the ruins were tied to the Tower of Babel, monuments to ambition struck down by God. Above the Trilithon once stood the Temple of Jupiter, its 54 columns, each soaring 20 meters. Only 6 still rise today, towering over the ruins. The Temple of Bacchus, smaller yet better preserved, shows carvings of vines and gods that still hold their sharpness after 2 millennia. Excavation confirms the Trilithon has not shifted. For 2,000 years, the blocks have carried their burden, their placement flawless, their alignment exact. The silence around them is what endures. No engineer claimed the feat. No emperor recorded the glory. The stones lie as if placed by hands unwilling to reveal their method. A challenge left in stone. Baalbek remains a place where myth and masonry intertwine. The Trilithon endures. Immovable, inexplicable, its weight measured not only in tons, but in mystery. The first temple. In the hills of southeastern Turkey, soil hid a secret. Beneath layers of earth lay rings of massive stones, buried for millennia. When unearthed in the 1990s, they forced history itself to shift. These pillars, carved 12,000 years ago, were raised not by farmers, but by hunter-gatherers at the edge of the Ice Age. The site is Gobekli Tepe. Radiocarbon dating sets it around 9600 BCE. The enclosures are circles up to 20 meters across, their walls built of towering T-shaped pillars, 6 meters tall and weighing up to 20 tons. In the center of each ring stand 2 larger monoliths, looming over the others. The stones are alive with images. Foxes leap across their surfaces, snakes coil, vultures spread their wings, boars, cranes, lions, an entire bestiary carved in relief. Some pillars carry human hands and belts, transforming the T-shapes into stylized figures. These are not random marks, but symbols arranged with meaning, cosmology, myth, or memory. What astonished archaeologists was not only the scale of the age. Gobekli Tepe predates pottery, metal, and writing. It predates agriculture. Its builders lived by hunting and gathering, yet they organized hundreds of workers, quarried limestone with flint tools, dragged megaliths across the hillside, and raised them in precise circles. The site shows no houses, no burials, no storerooms. It was not a village. It was a sanctuary, a gathering place. Groups converged here seasonally, feasting and working together, bound by belief strong enough to mobilize thousands of hours of labor. After centuries, the enclosures were buried deliberately. Soil and rubble sealed them, preserving carvings that would otherwise have eroded away. New rings were raised above the old, smaller and less ornate. The mound grew layer by layer, its oldest and grandest structures at the deepest levels. Why they buried them is unknown. Perhaps it was ritual closure, perhaps replacement by new monuments. Whatever the reason, the act preserved them for us. Gobekli Tepe turns history on its head. Civilization was thought to arise from farming, villages, surplus food, then religion and temples. Yet here stands a temple before the farm. Belief may have driven people to settle, to cultivate, to sustain the builders of stone sanctuaries. Only a fraction of the site is uncovered. Radar reveals dozens more circles still buried. Each unearthed pillar deepens the mystery. The vultures carrying severed heads suggest rituals of death and sky burial. The faceless giants with carved hands suggest deities or ancestors. The site speaks in symbols we cannot fully read. 12,000 years have passed since hunter-gatherers carved their world into stone on this hilltop. They left no names, no texts, only monoliths and animals frozen in relief. Their silence challenges us still. Gobekli Tepe stands as proof that long before villages, long before farms, humanity gathered beneath carved stones, seeking meaning in the sky, writing their first myths, not on clay tablets, but in pillars of stone.